Welcome back, gamers. Today we are bringing you the Apex Legends tier list for Season 22. The legends you should be playing, the legends you should be avoiding. And remember, I'm not some full-time YouTuber. I have a job, so I didn't take the time to play every single legend for 35 games. However, we reached Diamond in 5 days, so we've played enough games to let you know which legends are really strong and which legends are just straight up doo-doo. Also, your time's valuable, so we're going to shoot right into it, but I'm going to ask you at the start of the video, because it's important to me, that you like and subscribe. We're also streaming 4 nights a week on YouTube, so stop in and harass me. And hey, guess what? If you're looking to rank up, ask to join us and we'll help you gain some elo. Now, like I said, your time's valuable, so we're going to tell you why you should pick these legends and why you shouldn't. Of course, we're going to go backwards to forward, so we'll let you know which ones are doo-doo. So let's start fresh up with the F tier. First up, we got Ballistic. You know why Ballistic's F tier? Because the guy is straight up garbage. The game's so fast paced that by the time you pull your ultimate off, you're most likely dead or both your teammates are dead. His kit's unfortunately too slow. He has no utility. Both those are very important with how fast paced the game is. So Ballistic, you're still in the F tier. Sorry, guy. Next up's Valkyrie. There's no surprise here. There's too many jump towers. There's too many zip lines. Just to be fair, everyone's playing mobility and all of it's better than Valkyrie. Her tactical provides no real damage, and so for that reason she's just not played, and she's probably not going to be until we see a significant boost to her tactical. I get hate every time I do this video, but guess what? I hate Mirage, so he's probably realistically a C tier, but guess what? If you play him, you're a 55-year-old man, you're dropping his ultimate because you missed 50 shots and you want a second redemption shot. But guess what? He's still bad. Don't play him. Last up, Alter. And guess what? You can all laugh because last season I said she'd be S tier because I thought people would be too confused and her kit will be sick. Well, guess what? It stinks. She stinks still. And like I said, we are in a movement meta. Fast-paced, moving in. Third, fourth, fifth partying people. She's too slow for it. People don't know how to use her ultimate still to get back, and guess what? For that reason, she's the F tier. Bada bing, bada boom. Next up, the D tier. First up, Catalyst. You know why? To be fair, a lot of the other defensive legends are really strong. Could I see her being played still in competitive? Absolutely. But in ranked up to diamond so far, I'm seeing her 1 out of 5 games. People just don't play her, and I think it's basically that there are better defensive and utility legends. Her ultimate has been nerfed. She nerfed her doors. She nerfed her gooey goo. Keep her at the D tier. I'm fine with that. Next up in the D tiers are Ash Hole. See what I did there? Ash got a slight buff, but she's still just super slow. I would like to see them do something much more significant. I think if her ult speed was increased, that she would be much more superior, but everyone else moves faster with mobility. So for that reason, she's in the D tier. I could see this being a quick fix by just making her ultimate way quick. Look at this Pathfinder, by the way. What happened here? Oh, what a glitch. Who's surprised? Next up in the D tier, we got Seer. While I know people picked him up and started playing him a bunch more, I still don't think he's very good. If you think he's good, good for you. Like I said, the movement and the third parties are so fast, even if your ultimate's down, people don't even care anymore. They just run right through that. They do not care. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, this is the pick rate for gold, where I'm sure there are a large chunk of people stuck still. Now go out there and tell me Seer, Catalyst, Valk are being played. They're not. Now I think Gibby's better. We'll get to that, but just look at the pick rate for these legends so far. Next up in the C tier, we've got Newcastle. While he didn't get a big buff or a big nerf, he just still provides a ton of great utility, great defensive ability, and late game he is an absolute menace. Is he one of the best? No. Is he one of the worst? No. For that reason, we've got him down here. Still playable, still a good pick, just a legend you have to be a little bit more of a master on. Now this is how you know I'm not being biased. Technically Gibby should be F because no one plays him. I still think he's pretty good utility wise, especially with the shotguns. I think he could be played. I'm not quite sure. I've never been a big Gibby main, so if you're a Gibby main or you've played Gibby, tell me why you think he's not getting picked, because he's just not. I think he's still got some playability, just don't see it happening. Look at all these shots I'm missing, don't worry about it. Next up in the C tier, Octane. Good legend, pretty strong, not many changes for him. You've got your niche players, you've movement legends, definitely know how to play him well. I think he's still a very good pick. Don't think he's a top pick, think there's better utility other legends. But still, I think he's playable. You can win games with him. Next up, we got Caustic. We got a lot of defensive people in here that are okay. Caustic's pretty good mid-game. He's just great late game. Still, not many changes to him. So I think he's a pickable legend. I think you can play him. You could do it. Next up, Vantage, strong legend. Try to isolate your picks to 1 or 2 teams, maybe third party very early, have her ultimate up with a couple charges. You can fry someone early. 2 shots and they're going down. So good pick mid game. Late game we fall off a little bit, but clearly an improvement. They could just fix that stupid bird. Wait. It's a bat. I knew it was a bat. Not many changes to Fuse. He probably could be B tier because he's just great at being that third party annoying player. So I don't see many changes happening to him in the future. I think he's strong where he is. You're going to still see him played a ton in ALGS. His kit is great. Just not a legend I typically like to play because I want to be in there. I want to be in the battle. With the new buff to the Akimbos, you would think that Mad Maggie would be better or higher picked. I think she should be super strong. I don't know if people necessarily are picking her up because of the buff, but I think she's still very strong, especially in a shotgun meta, maybe with a very good defensive legend. But this legend still absolutely cranks wins, so make sure you play her as much as you can. First up in the B tier, we got good old Bloodhound. While his nerf does hurt a little bit, all of these legends, these recon legends, got a buff. When the ADS, you get the red glow. So I still think he's strong. The information's still great. You're able to find out if you're being third party quickly. You still get that booster in the ultimate. Bloodhound still gets picked for many games. No real changes to Loba. She's still very strong, especially in maps where it is hard to find loot or end game where you want to get the red shield, you want to get the red weapons. Still a very strong pick. E-District does not have great ground loot, so this legend may be very beneficial to you if you are very reliant on guns. So for that reason, we still think she's a top pick for sure. Horizon has had many changes. Don't find her very useful on E-District, but still a strong legend. Mid-game, her ultimate does a ton of damage. It breaks up fights easily. Her movement is still great. Doesn't make her a top pick, but still a very valuable legend to have in the game. Last up, Watson. Everything and too many things going on at one time. She probably is closer to A tier. I probably would put her there. I need to play her a little bit more, and I maybe move her there, but still a great legend, especially in E-District. Tons of buildings, able to lock them down, reset as much as possible. The buff to her ultimate, even better. Healing quicker. Okay, we put her in the A tier. She's in the A tier. We listed B tier, but let's go with A tier, Watson fans. Woo! Next up, A tier, first one, Lifeline. All I need to say is it's super annoying. There's so many fights going on. If you make it to the second ring closing and you get the gold knock, your ability to keep your team alive is so important, and you're guaranteed a gold knock after purple or making the second ring. On top of that, if you've played ranked before in solo, your teammates die all the time. So guess what? You get to bring them back to life. Next, we got up old trusty Bangalore. This legend hasn't changed a whole lot. Ultimate still provides a ton of utility, defensive and offensive. The smoke provides you cover when you need to get away. So for that reason, she's going to be played and continue to be played, especially in high-ranked lobbies. So just, if you've not played her yet, just pick her up. She's good. She's good. People may disagree with me on Wraith, but still a legend I think is great at getting your team in and out of fights if you have a good playing Wraith. I'm talking the master Wraith player. She's got a ton of mobility. The ability to get in and out is excellent. So for that reasons, we still think she's viable heavily in the rank play. With Rampart's new buff, she is just a disaster early game, which was always her fault to begin with. So the buff was much needed. But this buff to Rampart has allowed Rampart to be played much better early game. And I'll tell you, I've already been fried 55 times this season with early Rampart Sheila. So guess what? Pick her up. If you're an old Sheila main, bring her back. She's very viable. Definitely in the high tier lobbies right now. Now listen, this is the biggest swing we had. Crypto typically is in the D, F tier. Crypto now moved up to the A. I am seeing Crypto in a whole lot more lobbies for the fact that he doesn't have to be in his drone to give out information. Late game, he can be invisible. I think we'll see some sort of nerf because people don't want to watch ALGS, watching invisible people ducked in holes, ducked under the ground like a squirrel, okay? They don't want to see it. We may see a nerf, but Crypto right now in a phenomenal spot. Tons of information, tons of damage. Pick him up. Only 3 people in the S tier. We start with Pathfinder. Why? Well, let me just tell you why. I've been playing Pathfinder since the middle of last season. Movement is king right now. Your ability to get in and out of fights. You have the reduced damage zip line. This guy provides a ton of utility. If you have someone on your team that can scan the recon beacon or you need to know the zone beacon, you've got that to your advantage. He's got the full kit right now. Movement is everything. No surprise, we still got Revenant here. If you still play him in this season, you're a girl. Okay, no, I'm kidding, but we know there's a ton of hate on Revenant. Still very strong, basically a raid boss late game, especially if you get the red bin. But overall, still a very heavy legend to play. You have the Pathfinder type movement. It's unfortunately for yourself, you selfish son of a but you know what I mean. Still going to be a top pick, ton of utility, ton of big playmaking ability. Last up in the S tier, we've still got Conduit. You're going to ask, well, why, Ems? But Lifeline's good. Like I said, whole lot of buildings, whole lot of movement. She has defensive utility with her ultimate, still has her shield. I still think she's a very top pick. If you're the type of person that likes to play support legends, this is still the top legend for you to play right now. Okay? It is. Listen, thank you for your time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to bring you the weapon tier list next weekend. Or if you want it earlier, just tell me you want it earlier, and we'll stop everything we're doing in our life and get production in check. Hey, production, get the weapon list ready for tomorrow. Okay, see you guys next week.